The 055 reveal just happened today, and I am not going to sugarcoat this. It wasn't the W everyone was hoping and expecting. GGG told us this was a patch built mainly around major balance changes, but that's not what we got. And after sitting on it for a couple of hours, I started thinking, this has happened before. So today, I'm going to give you the TLDR on 055, why the balance changes, spoiler alert, didn't make it, and why I think there's generally no chance we see another new class before 1.0. Hi everyone, welcome back. It's Sammy. Let's walk through this and see if we can make some sense of it. Okay, so first things first, what did we get in 055? A continuation on the duelist from what we saw from Gamescom. Looks pretty cool, and although I'm not a melee kind of guy, this whole flow-based combat system looks genuinely different from anything else in the game. That part looks sick and great, but the duelist himself isn't dropping with 055. He's a 1.0 class, releasing December 11th. We know 055 will drop next week, along with the patch notes apparently, and it's going to be called Forbidden Rites, a ritual-themed event, not a full league, built around chasing down the King in the Mists and his cultists. It's got real solid stuff in it too. Every boss ritual you clear in the campaign carries forward into the next one, stacking into these genuinely wild multi-boss showdowns by the end of the cluster. Trial of Chaos got a full rework, thank God. You can pause between rooms now, push all the way to room 30 instead of stopping at 10, and there's a new wager modifier system that lets you gamble your run for way bigger rewards. There's going to be a lot of people farming the Trials of Chaos, I can tell you that. Abyss got a new Atlas feature too. Ravines that escalate and reward the deeper you push. Also, a great update on the Arbiter of Divinity push, which is going to give more quality of life for completion. Plus, new challenges coming for 055. It's good content. Looks like it's going to be fun, but that's not what most players are going to see, and that's not the real problem here. And here's the part that's going to sting and bug some of the player base, and honestly, it should. GGG told us straight up many times they originally planned a much bigger balance patch for this patch. That balance patch is what they've been talking about for weeks, if not months. They talked about new skills, new uniques, balancing character power. Heck, they even specifically talked about the 2 new ascendancies that were going to be added. The stuff they said would make up the majority of 055. Like, if I'm not mistaken, was going to be balance updates, changes, was going to make the majority, 70-80% of this patch. And today, they just said it. Flat out, they ran out of time. And every one of those balance changes is getting punted to 1.0 instead. Not delayed a few weeks, pushed all the way to full release in December. I hate to say it, but that's kind of like a broken promise, not a minor scheduling issue or a shuffle. And it's got me thinking on why this has happened. Unfortunately, we've seen this pattern before. Back before 0.4 dropped, GGG had promised that patch would be built around a real endgame rework. Everyone under the sun, the anticipation, knowing that 04 was finally going to deliver the endgame we all wanted. Then, out of nowhere, the Druid showed up instead, and the endgame rework got pushed out because the class ate all the development time. 04 didn't focus on endgame like promised, it focused on the new Druid class instead. Sound familiar? Because this is exactly what just happened again. 055 was supposed to be about balance. Instead, we got duelist and the prep work eating that schedule up, and balance got shoved to 1.0. So this isn't a one-off. This is starting to look like the same pattern. 2 separate times, same exact story. A new class shows up, and whatever else GGG promised for that cycle gets pushed out to make room for it. And that's exactly why I believe there's basically no chance we see another new class before 1.0 hits, for the reasons I just outlined before. Every single time Grinding Gear Games tries to fit a new class into a patch, it swallows the schedule whole. It happened with the Druid. It's happening again right now with the Duelist. If the same thing happened twice in a row, why would a third time be any different? I genuinely don't think GGG's short on ambition here. Heck, the game we're playing is full of content. There are, in my opinion, there is no other studio even remotely close to the amount of content that Grinding Gear Games pumps out for this game. So please don't take this the wrong way. But I do believe this is just simple math. A new class is just too much work to fit in cleanly alongside everything else they're trying to ship. So in my opinion, whatever's left for 1.0 is getting built, and I don't think we're seeing another class reveal until after the full release drops. That's my opinion. But here's the part I want to chew on, because pushing all the balance changes into 1.0 isn't just annoying, it's a genuine risk. Hear me out. Major balance changes are always divisive. Some people love them, some people hate them. That's just how it goes every single time GGG touches those numbers. Now imagine dropping every single one of those changes all at once on the exact same day the game goes free to play, in front of a flood of brand new players who've never touched this game before. You only get one first impression. If that day goes rough, not to mention this is right before Christmas holidays, if the balance changes land badly, that's the exact moment for a ton of new players who are forming their entire opinion of this game. That's not a small bet. That's GGG stacking their biggest balance risk directly on top of their biggest marketing moment and opportunity. I want to be clear about something though, okay? Before you guys start typing in the comments section already. I still believe in Grinding Gear Games. I still believe Path of Exile 2 is going to be the best ARPG. Heck, some are already arguing that point now. There's no other ARPG that has this amount of content as of today, let alone what I'm talking about, that's everything coming in the future. I want to be clear about that. But 055 does look genuinely fun. Although it didn't deliver all the major balance changes that everyone was hoping for, it still looks good. There's content in there. I definitely love what they've done to the Trials of Chaos. That's going to be hella fun. And I think it will land. How popular it's going to be, only time will tell. And I think the 1.0 balance changes will eventually land in a good spot. Personally, again, I would suggest to Grinding Gear Games that they push that past 1.0 just for the reasons I outlined before. But this all could have been avoided. And I have to say, and don't hate me for saying this, sometimes Grinding Gear Games gets in their own way by overpromising more than they can actually deliver on time. And honestly, this is where I'm torn, to be honest, is because that's kind of why I love GGG as well. I'd rather have a studio that's willing to take a real swing and occasionally miss than one that plays it safe every single time. And we know who we're talking about there. So that's how I see the story. And although a lot of people are upset, I would classify it, well, at least I'll give you my personal opinion. and how I'm feeling. I'm not mad. This is Grinding Gear Games we're talking about. They know what they're doing. I'm kind of sad. I don't like being told one thing and then it's not delivered. But I understand with everything that's going on, sometimes you just bite off more than you can chew. And again, it looks like this is what's happened with 055. So it's a broken promise on balance changes, a pattern that they've now done twice, a real case that no new class lands before 1.0, and a genuine gamble sitting right on GGG's biggest day of the year. Do you think the balance changes landing at 1.0 is actually a smart play or a real mistake? Let me know below. And like always, if there's something else going on in PoE2 you want me digging into, drop it below. Like I said, I read every single one of them. All right, everybody, that's it for today. If you're new here, hit subscribe. Hit that like button too if you got something out of this. And please follow me on Twitch so you know when I go live. Links, as always, are in the description. Thanks for watching, everybody. I really do appreciate it. And I hope to see you on the next one. Take care. The opinions expressed in this video are mine and solely mine. Healthy debate is always encouraged. Hate is never welcomed. So get over it.